Hello, hello, hello. Let's get my microphone on so everything works all right. Hey, sorry I'm so late tonight. It's been a long day, but I'm here. I didn't make it last week. Had a lot of construction. So for those that don't know, I have a lot of construction going on at my house. I've had a bathroom that's been under a remodel, and I told my contractor that he could come out anytime, and so he was out late last week. So I didn't come online and do my live stream last week, but here I am today, and even though it's late, almost 11 o'clock, about 2 hours after I normally get on here, but hopefully I can get on and try to answer some questions for a little bit before I have to run to bed. It's not going to be an hour-long show like usual. I don't know. It depends. I tend to run off sometimes and talk about stuff. If there's lots of questions, we'll see how long I can stay up tonight. So, hello, Jennifer. Hello, Andre. Hello. I'm going to call you 16 because I don't know how to pronounce the rest of that. But any questions at all tonight, feel free to ask away. Anything you want, I don't mind. So, let's see what, there was something I wanted to talk about tonight. Actually, I got a message. Let me see if I can get this thing to work. It may have been a YouTube comment actually on one of my videos. What was it? Now I've got to try to find it. I just came on and jumped right on here as soon as I could. Oh, here we go. So there was a comment on one of my cockroach videos actually. A YouTube person, watcher, somebody, came on one of my videos and, hey Ice Mask, came on one of my videos and asked me, actually didn't ask, they said that, so I have lots of videos on YouTube. In fact, if you go to my YouTube channel, here's my YouTube channel, and you hit this button right here and subscribe to me, but you could go to my videos, and I've got so many videos. See, you can search. So I've got some playlists. Where you go to my playlists, I've got a shorter, like 1 minute long playlists. I've got how to get rid of bugs, 10 different videos there. Lots of different playlists here, and then like I said, I've got just random videos that I've uploaded, but someone had actually commented that cockroaches. So let me see if I can pull up this. So cockroaches do not build an immunity against pesticides. What happens is cockroaches are really good at avoiding the places you spray. And if you spray and then try to put down bait, they won't eat it. Another thing is if you put down bait without taking away their food or water, they won't eat the bait either. Why would they go and eat bait when there's plenty of delicious crumbs under your fridge or stove? This is wrong. This is a million, bazillion, whatever, wrong. It is flat wrong. So, and I actually commented to that. It's on my How to Eliminate German Roaches Yourself. It's one of my #1 videos actually on my channel. But I read all of my comments. It doesn't matter if the video is 2 years old, 3 years old, 5 years old. I read all my comments. And a lot of my comments I tend to delete if they're crazy, out of control stuff. But I wanted to explain that there have been hundreds of studies on cockroaches. In fact, Bayer did one where they studied immunity with cockroaches and found that they could develop an immune strain to pesticides within 90 days. And so this is actually something that's true. Cockroaches do develop an immunity to pesticides, a resistance to pesticides, and they will eat poison. They will eat bait, basically poison, poisoned bait. They will eat bait right alongside crumbs. They eat crumbs, they eat bait, they eat, in fact, bait is made out of fats and oils and things that actually attract cockroaches. So it's very common for cockroaches to actually pick bait over other food sources because it's cooked like regular food is, and it's got poison added to it. So it's actually very enticing for cockroaches to eat cockroach bait. So this is actually wrong. Now, it is correct that if you spray bait with pesticide, that a lot of times roaches will not eat the bait because a lot of poisons that you use in a pesticide are actually repellent to roaches. So they see the pesticide and they're like, ooh, I don't want to eat that. Just like if I came into your house and sprayed your Subway sandwich or whatever with pesticides, you're probably not going to want to eat that either. So that's basically the same premise. If you've got baits that you've put out for roaches, you don't want to put pesticide near the bait. You want to put the bait in a separate spot, not alongside pesticides. So I just wanted to go over that real quick because I did have that, and I said, oh, you know, I ought to talk about that in my live stream and explain to people that roaches do develop an immunity. In fact, bugs that spend most of their time with humans, like cockroaches, bed bugs, even fleas, can develop a chemical immunity or a resistance to certain pesticides because they're around them all the time. They live indoors with you. So, somebody asked, money asked, you truly don't think Trelona, ATBS, or Centricon works? No, I've never said that. So I believe that Centricon bait stations do work. In fact, I am getting ready to talk with a Centricon salesman in instances where I can't use a liquid pesticide. So for those that don't know, Centricon is a bait for termites. And in instances where the well is too close to the house and you may not be able to treat the soil, or if you're too close to a body of water, so to speak, and you can't actually treat the house with a liquid application, then your only other option is typically baiting for termites. Now, if you've seen any of my videos, which, let's see here. By the way, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Let's search for termites on my channel. So you've got, let's see. So this is one of my #1 videos right here. It's 88,000 views. Termite bait stations, why they don't work. So, and it's got that picture up there because that's the most common one back when I made that video 4 years ago. But then you've got termites. This is Centricon termite bait stations and why they don't work. So the problem with baiting for termites is that the overall idea, the overall design of a bait station is the desire is that the termites will come along and while they're teeming in the soil, find your bait, take your bait back and kill the termite colony with the poison. And they do work. But the problem is that the maintenance of them is extremely expensive over time. It doesn't seem like a lot of money, but if you add up all the times you required to have somebody come out and check these Centricon bait stations in order to keep your house under warranty, it's extremely expensive. And the only option that I'm saying, other than like a Termidor treatment or Taurus or something like that, Fipronil basically, is if your house is too close to a body of water, because you're not allowed to treat with any kind of liquid. A lot of liquid applications actually will not allow you to treat for termites if the house is close to a body of water or a well. Fipronil is actually 50 feet, so if your well is outside of 50 feet, 10 feet. If your well is outside of 10 feet of the house, then you can treat with a liquid application. But if the well is within that 10 feet range, you're not allowed to treat with a liquid application. So, and that's the label for Termidor. So that's why you would want to do a Centricon bait station. But now on the opposite side of the house, let's say, so I did a house this year, actually a termite job for a lady who she had termites, and the side of the house for the well was actually touching the house. It was touching the wall of the house. So that side of the house, I could not treat with Termidor. I had to treat the opposite side. So I did treat the far opposite side of the house that was a good, 40 or 50 feet all the way on the other side of the house. I treated that part of the house with Termidor, and the rest of the house I used a bait for the termites. So where the well was. So that way I'm not going to contaminate the well water. So sometimes that's what you have to do. You have to use a little bit of both. So 16 says, I've been watching your videos and I see you're against using Semexo. What if I've seen them go into the walls? Okay, so bed bugs do go into the wall. Bed bugs and cockroaches are very often they retreat into the wall. Cockroaches especially, because cockroaches are light sensitive, so they don't like the light, so they retreat into dark places, which is usually in the wall. But bed bugs will as well. They'll go into the wall too. And so if you're using something like Crossfire to treat for bed bugs, then the bed bugs are going to come to you. The design of Crossfire is that the bed bugs come to you, not, they're not going to try to get away from you. They're going to try to come to you. And if you treat the beds and mattresses and places like that, the bed bugs are going to come to you. Tina Price says, I work for a pest control company in the office, call center, taking care of customers. And we get calls all the time, flying insects, gnats, drain flies, flies, etc. What is your best option? So it depends. So there's a different solution for each one of those. So if you've got like fruit flies, then you can make a trap. So let me see if I can find my Instagram. I had this exact same question, I think, came up last week. See if I can log in here. If it will work. Let me see if I can bring it up over here. I think I'm already logged in on my other browser. Instagram. There we go. I am logged in on the other one. All right, so let's close that window and put this one over here. And let's see if I can find my picture so you guys can see the frustration that I get trying to use this stupid thing. There we go. I don't like Instagram. Instagram's not one of my favorite places to go to. But if you go to here, in my profile, there's some pictures of some bugs. That's a bagworm, for anyone who doesn't know what that is. I think it's all the way at the bottom. Yep, there it is. So that's my fly trap. That's the one I make for customers all the time. Now that's a glass cup. You can use a plastic bottle if you don't want to use a glass cup. But that's what I use for fruit flies. Now that'll work for some drain flies too, because drain flies are also attracted to things that decompose. And that's something that, vinegar, this is apple cider vinegar that's in this, but you can also use wine, beer, things like that attract those kinds of flies. And I had a bar that I used to service where the drain flies and the fruit flies were so bad, and I had fly machines in there that would, every so many minutes they would go off to try to kill the flies. You could not keep up with the flies. We had lights, we had everything. You could not keep up with the flies because the people were in and out of the restaurant so much that it was just a really, really bad situation. So I took and made like 3 or 4 of these little traps, sat them up under the bar, and within a month, all the fruit flies were gone. So this is actually a very effective way, and it's very cheap and effective, and most people can just make it on their own. And so that's what I typically use. Oh, you know what? My microphone is way over there. Now, maybe that'll fix my mic. It looked like it was picking up the sound just fine, though. But anyway, that's one of the ways that I deal with it. Now, as far as other types of flies, like just regular flies, like, we call them cluster flies, garbage flies. You want to target areas like places trash cans are kept. If there's like a trash can caddy outside where they're kept, treat those areas. If they've got problems, drain flies. If it's truly drain flies that the house has, you could take a cap full of bleach and wash down the drain, and it will kill any bacteria in the drain that the flies are breeding in. And that solves a lot of people's problems. And especially if you have a double basin sink, a lot of people still drain their dishes in one side of the sink and they wash their dishes in the other side of the sink. So that one that's got the dishpan in it where it's draining, that side never gets used. And so very little water actually washes down the drain. It's just whatever's wet that drips off the dishes. So you can actually take that out and put a little bit of bleach down that, and sometimes the drain flies are coming from there. In fact, that's a real common place, or a rotten potato. So check potato bins and onion bins and stuff like that. That's usually where I start. And then you start troubleshooting to try to figure out exactly what kind of flies they have. So Marina says, I'm getting ready to order Crossfire. What else do I need to order? Guess what? I have spray tanks. I have 3 spray tanks. My wife ordered 3 tanks. I told her that I wanted her to act as if she didn't have a pest control technician as a husband, and go on there as if she was going to do her own pest control, and buy 3 different spray tanks, all for under $50 from Amazon. and I'm going to test them out as a professional, and I'm going to give you my absolute unbiased opinion on what you could use as a homeowner yourself that's cheaper than a B&G, which is what I use. So I did get those. We've got them. I've got them in the living room. They arrived today in the mail today. So hopefully within a couple weeks, I'll have some videos for you about spray tanks. Marina says, so she says, getting ready to order Crossfire. What else do I need to order for application? Or can I buy it at Home Depot? I'm in Canada. So that's what I was just going on about is just the spray tank for the mixing the pesticide is all I would probably use. Jennifer Lego says, Tina, that's a question. Tina, yeah, I agree. Should always look for a source of where they're coming from. Yeah, actually, if you want to go to my Amazon page, let's close Instagram and go there. My Amazon page is in my link, by the way. But I've got ticks, bed bugs. So this is my bed bug supply page. Now, I've got a lot of things on here that I just thought would help people in certain situations. So this is all the Crossfire, Alpine WSG. These are all these links. And then actually, look at that. Crossfire is $36. Is it 36? Oh, 37. So that's actually, I always like to look and see what the prices of Crossfire. Sometimes it's 42, sometimes it's $50. There's the book I wrote about bed bugs. I've got that. That's $1. There's my first one that I wrote on bed bugs. There is a bulb duster. These are mainly just for dusting in the wall voids in different places if you decide to go that route. I don't recommend it. But this is the B&G I was talking about. And if you look real close, this is like $591 listed on Amazon, $590. That's outrageous expensive. And so I actually have 3 that my wife ordered that I'm going to review. This is a black light. You can actually find, or a UV light. You can actually find bed bugs using one of these. You can find traces of them if you're having problems finding them. This does help. But really the main thing is just Crossfire works the best. That's what I recommend for bed bugs. And you gotta excuse me. I've been really busy today. I've been working all day, and I'm starting to lose my voice, which is why I can't be online too long tonight. Carpets and baseboards. How do you spray when the tops of the baseboards are sealed? Do I put the sprayer down between the carpet and the baseboards? Yes, that's where you put it. You put it where the carpet joins the baseboard, where it tacks onto the tack strip. That's where you want to put it. You want to try to have enough pressure to force the chemical into that around the quarter round on your baseboard, underneath it. That's where the bed bugs are going to crawl. You got to think of it. Put yourself in the mind of a bed bug. Put yourself on the same level as a bed bug, down on the ground, crawling along, and it crawls along the carpet, and it goes between the fibers, and it goes underneath the baseboard. And so those are the places the bed bugs like to go. Now, they'll crawl along the top of the carpet too and crawl up over the quarter round, but they're going to crawl underneath that quarter round down into that crack. They want to squeeze down where the carpet meets the baseboard. That's the places they like to go to. Ice Mask says, was gonna ask, I spray Crossfire, let me see, seen your old videos, but I'm flipping out over the bite because I was bite free for a couple days, but now, okay, so this is another thing. Actually, someone from Discord asked, and then I've had Discord messages all day today too, but someone actually asked me on Discord if it's normal to still get bites after applying Crossfire. Yes, that's normal. Bed bugs actually don't, because they're coming to you and because they don't see that the Crossfire is there, you may get bit before the bed bugs die. That's a normal thing. So expect that. That's what I tell all my customers too. I'm like, look, you're the bait. You're the delicious piece of chocolate cake that the 3-year-old cannot ignore. You know, the bed bugs are not going to ignore you laying there, yummy, delicious snack here laying in the bed. I'm going to come and I'm going to bite you. But they don't know the chemical's there. So they're going to crawl over the chemical to get to you. Whatever you do, don't cover your mattress with a mattress encasement after you've sprayed Crossfire, because you want the mattress and the box spring and the bed and everything, you want that to be in contact. Don't use, I actually had a guy call me from Missouri the other day, and he said, look, I I want to put a mattress encasement after I treat with Crossfire. And I'm like, don't do that. He's like, well, why not? I've wasted all this money on this. And I said, yeah, you wasted money on a mattress encasement because you don't want to cover the area you just treated. You want the bed bugs to come into contact with it. Don't put interceptors on the legs of your bed because you want the bed bugs to crawl up the legs of the bed. If you've treated properly with Crossfire, you've treated those areas. And when the bed bugs do crawl up the legs of the bed, they die. So that's what you want. You want them to come out, ring the dinner bell, let them come, and let them die. That's the way you do it. Hey, man, I've been watching you for a while now, and I finally bought and sprayed my house with Crossfire as thorough as I thought I could, and we are still having bedbug problems. Any ideas? So it depends on how long ago you treated with the bedbugs, Brandon. Because if you just treated a few weeks ago, it can take up to 30 days. It lasts 30 days. So a bedbug egg that's laid today hatches in 6 to 10 days, bites you from the day it's laid, almost 20 days it can take before it bites you the first time. So that's almost 3 weeks. So depending on when the eggs are laid, you're going to have those eggs slowly starting to hatch. And the bed bug that hatches out of the egg doesn't bite you right away. It takes a week to 10 days before it bites you. So it may take a week or so before you get bit. It may take a few days. It just depends on what level of gestation your eggs are in. So it's one of those things where you just have to wait and see how long it takes. You know, some people, the bed bugs are gone in just a couple weeks. It just depends on how bad your infestation is, how many bed bugs you have at the time that you treated. And there's lots of variables that come at play, and you may need to retreat your house after 30 days or so. If you're still getting bit, then you want to retreat. Sprayed for bed bugs in 2017. The fella came back again 2 weeks ago, and I've seen a couple, but not all night long anymore. Good. John Torres said, how would you treat agricultural pests in a backyard? I don't do a lot of agricultural pests, personally. I mean, bagworms, maybe, but not really a lot of agricultural pests. I just don't. I treat like ticks and fleas and things like that in the yard, mosquitoes and stuff, but that's basically all I do. I don't actually take care of any kind of like cicadas or anything like that, or Japanese beetles and things. I don't do that. I could. I'm licensed to, but I just don't. I'm busy enough with what I've got on my plate to have to add that to. Jennifer Lego says, I bought the flashlight. It works to see where the bugs have been. Great. Hi, Jason. How do you properly dispose of Crossfire? I use it all. Actually, I've got a new microphone for my regular videos that I record during the day. And I actually made a video on Crossfire. I've started doing so. I did this new video. I just put this up the other day, and let's see if I go to my videos. This one right here. It is Ortho Home Defense Product Review. 30+ year pest control pro gives DIY advice. So if you guys just let me know, I would like to ask y'all, my audience, if you like that video. So that is a how-to tutorial. Not a how-to tutorial. It's a review, a product review of home defense, because home defense is what I see everywhere. I go in people's houses and I see home defense on like literally almost 80% of the houses I go to. It's like one of the most common pesticides to find in a person's home that's called you out to kill their bugs, is they have home defense. And so I went over home defense and I actually gave an honest product review over home defense. I have another product review that I've got coming in Tuesday. Hopefully, fingers crossed, if I can get actually get the video to edit like I want on Raid. And then I've got another product review I'm working on Crossfire. And so I actually go over Crossfire and I talk about how to dispose of Crossfire, how to mix it to where you don't have so much waste. Because what people do is they mix Crossfire 13 ounces to a gallon, and then they have like a half a gallon left over and they don't know what to do with it. And the problem is that Crossfire turns into a weird kind of a jelly if it's left more than 24 to 48 hours by itself, and then you can't use it. It's gross. It's gross. It really is. And so I advise people to mix half a gallon, and it's very hard to mix half a gallon when you have these little bottles like this. These little 13-ounce bottles. That's all it is. It doesn't graduate like a quart of oil that you pour in. And so, Ice Mask says, thank you so much. You cleared a lot of anxiety. $2. Thank you. Y'all don't have to do that. Jennifer Lego gave me $5. Happy early Father's Day, and thanks for educating us on bugs. Well, thank you. Y'all don't have to do that. I appreciate it, though. I'm here just to hang out and chat about bugs because I like bugs. It's just a hobby. But, I mean, it's my way of life. But pest control is a way of life for me. But thank you very much, Jennifer. I appreciate that. And Ice, y'all are great. Thank you. But yeah, in order to properly dispose of pesticides, so in Virginia, we actually have this pesticide disposal program that, wow, Blood Bushcraft just donated $50. Dude, thank you so much. Here's to the sprayer tank fund. Y'all don't have to do that. Y'all just shoot. I appreciate it. Y'all don't have to do that. Really, you don't. I'm really just here to help. It's you don't have to give me anything. You really don't. But yeah, now see, I've lost my train of thought. You done screwed me up. So the problem with Crossfire is that the smaller jug, the smaller little 13-ounce bottle, 6.5 ounces of that mixes half a gallon. So the problem is the way you mix it, the way I mix Crossfire, and I got a video on this, is you pour half of the amount of water that you need. So if you're mixing half a gallon, you pour a quart of water in, you fill up with the 6.5 ounces of Crossfire, and then you pour another half a gallon, or not half a gallon, sorry, another quart of water in, and then you mix it up. So now you have a half gallon of Crossfire. That way you only have a half a gallon. If you need to mix more, you can. And that way you don't mix too much. So that's what I always recommend for pesticides is mix less than what you think you're going to need, so that if you need to mix more, you can, and you just use it all up. So then you use all your products, you have no waste. This is what I do. So a lot of times if I'm going on a brand new bedbug job and I've never been there before, I only mix half a gallon of Crossfire. That way, if I need to mix more, I can. And so that's what I always recommend doing. That way you don't have any wasted pesticide. But the Virginia actually has a program, and I don't know if other states do, but I know Virginia does, where you can actually take your... So we have what's called rinsate. So rinsate is when you triple rinse, like if you have a B&G and it's got one chemical in it and you need to switch from one chemical to another, you will triple rinse the tank so you can switch from one chemical to another. And that rinsate is it's a diluted version of the pesticide. And so it's not labeled dose, and it's hard to say how much actual labeled concentrate is in it. So that's considered waste. And that's what you usually take to the pesticide disposal program, where they can take and they can eliminate that for you. And so you could check in your local area. If you have a pesticide disposal program, most states do, they can take any used pesticide and they can dispose of it in a safe manner. They get rid of it for you. And so they put it in special barrels and drums and stuff like that, and they get rid of it so that there's no actual pesticide leakage on the ground or out in the groundwater or anything like that. So that's what I recommend to do if you've got anything that you can't actually use. And he says, let's see, man, I got to scroll up. You guys filled up my whole chat bar with donations. Y'all didn't have to do that. I'm not here to get donations. I'm really not. He says, hi, Jason. Okay, how do you properly dispose? Okay. And he also says, don't touch my drum set. That's a great name. I don't recommend using Crossfire on the outside of the house. because it's not going to hurt your plants. I don't believe it will, but it's not really for use on the outside of the house. The reason why is because Crossfire is for bed bugs. Bed bugs don't live outside. So you're not supposed to use it outside. You're only supposed to use it inside. So that's why I'm saying you really shouldn't. It is a neonicotinoid, and we don't want to break the label so that we can continue to have Crossfire. One of the problems with breaking label and for you as a consumer. So this is one of the problems that I get posed with all the time so when you go to get your license renewed, and thank you, Tina. Tina gave me $2. Here's to the cost of pesticide chemicals. You guys are crazy tonight. This never happens. It never happens, and it's really throwing me for a loop because I don't expect this ever. And I've never had this happen before, to where people are just giving me money. You don't have to do this. I'm not like, a juggler on New York City or something. You don't have to pay me any money. I'm just here to hang out. But anyway, thank you anyway. Thank you all. Y'all are fantastic. But so one of the problems with breaking the label. So right now, the pesticides I use, so if you go here and you go here and you look at these chemicals that I've got listed here, you can buy all these. So I use, in my business, I use Crossfire, I use Alpine WSG, I use Demon, I use basically all of these. So these are all the different pesticides at my disposal. You can buy these too. So the point that I like to make on my streams is, or my YouTube channel in general, is that you can buy everything that I buy. This is all available to you. The same exact chemicals that I am paid to service homes with, you can purchase. The problem is that it is very important that if you decide to do what I do, that you follow your label. When the consumer doesn't follow the label, and a dog or a cat or a child or a fish or anything dies because of misuse of pesticide or even is harmed, the government is very knee-jerk, very crazy knee-jerk. And so what they'll do is they'll take the pesticide away from not just you right here on Amazon, but they'll take it away from me and any other technician that's actually licensed and educated on how to use pesticides properly. So when I give you this information and I teach you how to do these things, there's a reason that I put this at the beginning of every single one of my videos and this at the end of every single one of my videos, because these are very, very important. When I share with you how to get rid of bugs, follow my advice. Follow the label. Never break the label, because as long as you follow the label and no one gets sick, we can continue to buy these pesticides, not just you, but me too. Because these are the tools of the trade that I use to get rid of bugs, and I need them to get rid of bugs, and you need them to get rid of bugs too. And so we don't want the government to come in and say, oh, somebody's child just died, it's a tragic thing. We have to take these away from everybody, because that's not what we want. We want to be able to continue to keep black widows, roaches, spiders, crickets, rats, mice. California actually outlawed most rodenticides. Nearly all rodenticides have been outlawed in the state of California because pets were dying, birds were dying, because people were not properly using the pesticides that they had or the rodenticides they had. And so California has done this completely crazy knee-jerk reaction and jumped to, oh, get rid of all of it. Don't let the pest control guys use it, who actually know how to use it, who are licensed and insured. Oh, no, don't let anybody use it. Just get rid of it completely. And that just is the wrong answer to the solution to the problem. It's really more regulation, not eliminate completely. I think it would be better to regulate more, and that's crazy because I'm not really for regulation. I mean, that's why I'm here showing you how to do this. But if you're going to abuse the label, then you need to not have access. And that's the way I feel, is that the general consumer should not have access if they're going to break the label. So, and there's my soapbox. There's my soapbox for the day. My company doesn't do outdoor flea treatments, only indoor. Do you recommend this too? No, I recommend indoor and outdoor. So I have a video on fleas. Tina, I think it was Tina that asked. Yeah, Tina asked that question. If you go to so this is my newest playlist. I need to add some more to this, but if you have anybody has any ideas on advice, but right here I have a playlist for how to get rid of bugs. It's 3 to 4 step pest control solutions anyone can do. Okay, so that's my playlist. Let's not listen to that. So we've got bed bugs, cockroaches, springtails, fleas. So this video right here on fleas, and you can look at the description down here. Amazon store donation, schedule a time, Alpine, blah, 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 blah. Does it have my directions? Okay, yeah. Here we go. So these are the actual directions in my description. Step 1, identify the problem. Make sure that you actually have fleas. Many people never even think the yard is infested, but fleas come from outside in, whether it's on you or your pets. So be sure to check your yard. So I always tell people to check the yard for a flea infestation because fleas come from the yard. In fact, it's really common that fleas will actually travel to your yard on deer, rabbits, squirrels, rats. Lots of animals will bring both ticks and fleas into the yard. So I always treat the yard for fleas. Also, maybe I misunderstood, but I thought crossfire was not meant. Yes, right, correct. It's not for outside. I'm desperate. I want to spray every inch of my house. Don't spray every inch, just cracks and crevices, beds, baseboards, furniture. I got videos on how to treat for bed bugs too. In fact, I have a course. Let me show you this. This is pretty neat. I think it's neat anyway, but what is going on with my mouse? Stop that. All right. My course is not on this one. I don't have it on it. I'm not big on advertising, honestly. Let's see. Why is this thing... That is so annoying how your videos stay inside your window now. I'm very old school. I'm like, I will click it to watch it. This is not MySpace. I don't need a video to automatically start playing. All right. I'll date myself. So, where was I? What was this question? Now I can't remember what I was talking about. Well, that's all right. I have a lot to get to here. Wow, I have a lot on here. Y'all are really talking a lot tonight. Mixing less product. Okay, you saved me thousands of dollars. Your knowledge is value. Well, is everybody talking about how I was saying you don't need to pay me nothing. What bugs would you use to decompose a body? What? What? Oh. I am not answering that question. I don't even want to know why you asked that question. Oh, goodness gracious. All right. Marina says, I find... That's hilarious. I find the bugs every 2 months. In between that time, I don't see them for real or feel them. What are they doing in the baseboards without food? Oh, bed bugs can go 18 months without food. They don't need food all the time. They can go a long time without food. In fact, if they're hiding for up to 2 months, you may have used a pesticide that's repellent for them. $4.99. Don't touch my drum set. I was in a deep hole of bedbug product Amazon reviews. One said, stop reading these reviews and watch Jason Akers on YouTube. He'll save your sanity. Really? I'd like to see that. That is awesome. Man, y'all are... Yeah, that's crazy. I'm in Alexandria. Can you tell me where exactly to dispose of my... Oh, I don't know, honestly. Let's see. Virginia, VDACS, pesticide disposal. All right. So Crystal, it's in Alexandria. I service Alexandria sometimes. Man, I got 27 people on here right now. This is crazy. This is really crazy tonight. Man, this late night. See, I come on here and I tell you I'm not gonna be an hour, and then all these people have been here 42 minutes. So let's see, scene. So this is the VDAX Department of Agriculture, how the program works. All right, so there should be a map on here. Let's see, 2020 to 2024. Map of participating locations. So 2021, the places to dispose of them are in these counties here. So I'm not sure. This is probably actually up near you, honestly, because Alexandria is like right around in this area. So it's like right around in these counties. These are the areas you can dispose of in 2021. They can't do it year round all over the state. So they break it up into sections where you can take your pesticides to dispose of them if you've got extra pesticides. So hopefully that'll help you, Crystal. Carmen says, how do you know if you have mites? How do you know if you have mites? Well, typically mites come from animals like birds and animals living on the home. So usually you could do that. Now, if it's spider mites or clover mites, you can see them. They're really, really super tiny. Like this, I would show you, like the size of a pinprick. Really, really small. I don't have anything here to reference. But usually that's how you can tell. You can feel them, but you can see them too, typically. Bird mites are like a translucent, clear, kind of white color. Clover mites, spider mites are different colors. Clover mites are red. They're the little red dots that crawl on the ground that you may sit and see crawl on the ground. So when I spray with Crossfire, should I repeat Crossfire in 2 to 4 weeks or switch to something else like Tempered or Alpine? I would just use Crossfire. That's what I do. I've stopped even using Alpine altogether. I just use Crossfire now. I think Crossfire works better than Alpine. John Torres says, California banned rodenticide. Now we have millions of rats. Yeah, see, that's the problem. That's a stupid thing. Rats carry bubonic plague. That's how you get the plague, is you don't kill your rats. Jesus Cortez, hey, hope you're doing well. I'm doing all right. I'm trying to keep up. I've got tons of questions tonight. Fred says, yeah, so don't go power spraying your pool deck with Phantom. No, don't do that. My grandma came over and lived with my family because her apartment was infested with bed bugs, but at the same time, I was dealing with flea infestation. What's worse, bed bugs or fleas? For me, personally, fleas. Fleas, way worse. Fleas eat me alive. I don't get bit by bed bugs. When I go into a house with bed bugs, I don't get bit. Fleas are murder to me. Now, as far as which one's easier to get rid of, they're both about the same. They both take about the same amount of time. Fleas take about 21 days. Bed bugs take about 21 days to 30 days. So it's just the way that's how they are. Because you're waiting on the eggs to hatch. The thing is, you're waiting on eggs to hatch. You're waiting on babies to come out and actually feed. They don't feed all the time. They feed only every so often. So that's the problem with bed bugs. And fleas, they have to hatch from the cocoon. So it takes time for them to do that too. So you're suffering with this problem for days on end, even after the exterminator has treated for you. So for me, they're both about the same, honestly. But fleas eat me alive. When I go into a house, I get eaten up with fleas. They munch on me. It's like I'm a buffet. Fleas love me. But, I'm not having to sleep with bed bugs either. So, Jesus says, I'm watching this because I'm sleep deprived, because me and my wife just had twins, finally got these kids to sleep. And, that's what I tell people. So, I'm a 24-hour pest control company. If someone called me right now, I would end the live stream, I'd go out, and I would kill bugs. Because that's how I am. And I had a guy say, how do you do that in the middle of the night? How do you go out? I'm like, because I have kids. When you have kids, you don't sleep. When my daughter was born 8 years ago, that my son is 2.5. We got another one due in October this year. I think my wife said she's being induced on the 26th of October. So I'll have another baby then towards the end of October, beginning of November. And I just don't sleep. I think I remember what it was like to sleep, but it might have been a dream. So, but congratulations on the twins. That's fantastic news. I've been dealing with bed bugs for over a year because of my mom. Let's see. Have I just jumped all the way down? No, there we go. Oh, yeah, and if you're having weird rashes, Jennifer's right. Consult with a dermatologist. They're usually better at pointing out what rashes are from. Try some hydrocortisone cream. Ice Mask says, yeah, it's a horrible experience until I found Green Channel Crossfire. Let's see. Man, I'm trying to get through all these. Y'all are just really talking a lot. Asking me all kinds of stuff. I've been in deep rabbit hole reviews, videos for a couple of weeks now. Well, the thing is, the Crossfire really does work, though. That's a pest control review. That's a pest control technician's review. I have it. I'll bring a bottle down here and show it to you. I've got it. I've got the gallon. In fact, I think I got an empty one. But I got a lot of empty ones. I don't do the disposal, but when they come to the area, so I just save them until it's time to dispose of them, and then I take them in and dispose of them, because I don't have time to drive all the way up to Northern Virginia just to get rid of jugs. And so if I miss your question, it's not intentional, or if I don't get to your question right away, it's not intentional. I don't have anyone filtering these or reading through these for me. I'm doing it all myself, because that's what I'm doing tonight. Tina says you can carry bed bugs back home with you, though. Our guys have to wear protective gear. You know what I wear? Shoes, pants, no protective gear, just my uniform shirt, just the way I look, and some gloves. That's all I wear. But no, I don't have a moderator. I moderate myself. I like moderating. That's what I like to do. I like doing this stuff. This is fun for me. This is like the best. I love YouTube. I like to sit here and make videos for you guys. I've got all kinds of equipment that I have for making videos for you. Like this is like see, I'll show you. I got this little ring light thing. I got that for my lights and stuff. And I get to sit here and I get to teach you guys how to kill bugs. And this is what I live for. I live for pest control. I joke with my customers, and I'm like, I go into their house and I tell them I'm on YouTube. I've got like almost 14,000 subs. So where I just sit here and I get to talk about bugs. It's really fun. So I don't have time to go to college to get an entomology degree. I just learn all the time, and I'm reading all the time, and I'm in the field killing bugs all the time. So I can teach you how to do it. So... let's see. Now I'll tell you what I do. I do tuck my pants in to get the fleas off. I tuck them into my socks. Actually, lace them into my boots, and I will treat my pants with off to try to keep the fleas off of me, because I've infested my vehicles with fleas. Pretty miserable. Willie said, all they said is I'm allergic to whatever happened to be on me. So with pest control, Willie, if you've had somebody come in and, if you've had somebody come into your home and check your home for bed bugs, did they use a dog? Because you can't always find bed bugs. If it's a very mild infestation, you will get bit. I mean, a bed bug can bite you 3 or 4 times in one night. Just one. And if you've got a couple, you may get rashes all down your arm. And it may only be 3 or 4 bed bugs. So what you do is you have somebody bring in a bed bug dog, and they can actually target the areas and find out if you actually have bed bugs or not. That's what I recommend. I don't have a bed bug dog myself. My wife wanted to get one, but we don't actually have one. But I have recommended bed bug dogs to people before, where you just could not find the bed bugs, where they are just hiding so well, and the dog has actually centered in and found where they were, and then you can target that area and kill the bed bugs, because a person is only as good as their eyes. And I'm about 97 to 99% accurate on my bed bugs. I usually always find where they were or where they are, but not always. Not always. There have been a couple where I haven't, but most of the time I do. And a bed bug dog is about 98 to 99% accurate. They're really accurate. And it's really dependent on the company. Some people charge $120, $130. Other people charge up to $300 for a bed bug inspection using a dog. But they are very effective at finding bed bugs. How do you keep from spreading bugs to others? Well, you just have to be proactive. You can, now that's one thing you can do, is you can treat your shoes with Crossfire. It's on the label, believe it or not. It's one of the only articles of clothing on the label of Crossfire that actually allows you to treat with Crossfire, because they'll tell you right on not to treat your clothing, don't treat your sheets or covers or pillows or anything, but you can treat your shoes. So I will, in houses that are heavily infested with bed bugs, I've treated shoes that I can walk across the carpet with, so I don't actually take bed bugs away from the house with me. So that's actually a really good way to keep you from taking bed bugs with you, is treating like the soles of your shoes. Also, you can treat your luggage bags, backpacks, stuff like that you take with you, so that bed bugs can't crawl up into your belongings. Have you ever done commercial work like food manufacturing, packaging, etc.? So I've got a lot of commercial jobs that I work for. I've never actually done like food packaging plants or anything, but I've done places where they make abrasives for like sandblasting bridges. I've done places where they make the one. This is the coolest thing about being in pest control, is that you get to see all these really neat places. But I did this one building one time where they actually make the die that cuts cardboard boxes. So if you worked at, like, let's say you were an Amazon rep and you needed to buy boxes for Amazon cut to certain sizes in order to fit, everything that you wanted to pack in your Amazon box, then what they do is they send out this order out to this certain building, and they make the die. It's this big, huge wheel. It's big, long, like a cylinder with little pieces of metal in it, and it spins when the cardboard runs through, and it cuts it to the specific shape of a box, and you just have to fold it up and put it together. And so that was a pretty neat thing I did. But I've been in lots of plants and commercial buildings, but I've never actually been in any actual, food processing plants. So I'd like to. They're neat. I like seeing how stuff is done. I grew up on Mr. Rogers and Picture Picture watching crayons made. So that's the kind of stuff I just really thought was really neat growing up. I still think that stuff, how it's made, and all those cool shows, I always watch them. So I like to be in places like that. So let's see. Thanks for all your help and advice. Can you just come to Texas? I got friends who live in Texas. Dogs can't pick up bed bugs. They can pick up fleas, but they can't take bed bugs with them. Bed bugs can't hold on. The thing about bed bugs that makes them so annoying and why they bite you so many times is that they don't have really sticky feet like ants and fleas and spiders and other bugs. So they actually fall off of you when they start eating, and they get clumsy and they slip and they fall. It's like they're wearing really slick bottom shoes. And so they can't actually climb up onto a dog and hang on for dear life and ride the dog through the house like a flea can, because they have very slick feet that don't allow them to. So you don't have to worry about dogs and cats bringing bed bugs into their house. That's not how you got them. You got them from a friend that had some in their pocketbook or in their pockets or on their clothing. Or in a backpack. Or from a hotel, through your luggage. Stealth Woman says, I think you are extremely educated in your field of practice. You are the best. I love watching you when I can. Thanks. Congratulations to you and your life with a new baby on the way. Oh, yeah, I can't wait. I love babies. I love children. I was joking with one of my customers, and she's like, you don't want any more baby? And I said, oh, no, I want lots of kids. I love kids. I used to joke with my wife when we were kids. So I've known my wife since she was 7. She'll be 36 in August. I'll be 40 in December. And she used to ask me questions because she had a crush on me when we were kids. And she's like, how many kids do you want to have? And I'm like, 10. I like kids. So, oh yeah, if there's 30 people viewing, you guys need to like the video. Give me a thumbs up. It really helps the channel. Look at how crooked my hat is. That annoys me. I hate that. I always talk about my hat, or I'll talk about it. Like a couple weeks ago, I had a zit that I was talking about. I'm weird, sitting here talking about my own personal problems and hygiene and trying to groom myself on camera. I'm one of those people that still goes like this, to the mirror. Whenever you go through and there's like a mirror, I'm like a 5-year-old. I can't stop making funny faces. So. Can you come to North Carolina? I'll come work for you. You help me with my job now. Well, just move to Virginia. I ain't that far. I'm as far as from you are as you far from me. You ain't that far. I'm actually only about an hour from the border. My ex-wife's from Charlotte, and I actually lived in Dallas for 3 months. So I'm pretty familiar with North Carolina. My wife used to live in Havelock years ago. So, Jesus says, I'm asking because I might be moving to a company that does exclusive commercial clients. Just started the process now, no guarantee, but crossing my fingers. They're fun. The commercial buildings are fun, but I do both. I do whatever people call me. If people call me and they want me to do a commercial building, I do it. I've done lots of restaurant work, but restaurants pretty, that's a pretty common thing. People do restaurants, but I don't really consider that commercial. I guess you could say it is, but I mean, like Taco Bells and stuff. But I've done different pizzerias, lots of Italian restaurants, whole chains and stuff. So, let me text my son. There we go. But yes, the label is the law, Ice Mask. See? Right there. The label is the law. This video and all content on this channel is being performed by a pest control professional, and it is always recommended to hire a pest control pro in your area. So yeah, you'll hear that on all my videos now. I started putting that on all my videos, on all my newer ones, because I want people to understand that, rules are not meant to be broken when it comes to pesticides. They're really not. And there are people in my profession that break the rules every day, all the time. And I don't agree with it. I think there are solutions. The thing is there are pesticides for every bug imaginable. The thing is that somebody has figured out a pesticide that will kill a bug, whatever bug you're trying to get rid of. And there's no reason to break label for, a pest control product. You could get a different product. So John says, Jason, do any of your kids work for your company? Well, yeah. So on my TikTok, if you go to my TikTok channel, links in the description, by the way. If you go down through TikTok, let me see here. I've got a video of my son. Where is he? He's on here somewhere. I think he is. Well, I can't find it now, but it's on there. There's a lot of videos on there. So, they're funny stuff. This is some carpenter ant damage. This was so bad. I'm going to play this for you guys. All right, so right there, that's a CPAP machine. Right here, that's a CPAP. Right here, this little spot right here, that's a bed bug. Oh, thank you, Rory. This is my son. See, peek in here. See,
hi.
No, like this. Like this. Look, say hi.
Hi.
Yeah, he works with me. But that CPAP. So I called after I finished the job to let them know how long they needed to be out of the house and everything. And I told him, I said, I found bed bugs living on the CPAP machine. And she said, oh, yeah, he was complaining he was breathing them in. So that's how bad the bed bugs were in that house. That was one of the worst ones, but that is an actual bed bug inside the CPAP machine. So if you want to see some crazy stuff, like some of the craziest stuff I don't really show on YouTube, go look at my TikTok page. It's pretty crazy. And you don't have to have like a phone. You could do it on like TikTok.com/green. Oh, @ you have to do the @ symbol. Green Acres PC. So that's the, oh man, let me see here. Let me remove that message real quick. Let's see. www.tiktok.com/@. I don't know if it's going to work or not. It didn't look like it worked. I guess I need to put the HTTPS on there. But anyway, that's my TikTok. It's in the description. I think it's in the description of my video. Let's see. Is it? Yep, it's down there. Yeah, so it's in the link in the description below too. So if you ever want to see some crazy stuff, go check out my TikTok channel. Some of it's pretty crazy. I also worry about 3 dogs with crossfire and pesticides. So crossfire doesn't really hurt mammals. Do you think a Toyota Tacoma is too big for a pest control vehicle? Nah, that's a good truck. I use a Kia Soul though. I work out of a Kia. Ice mask, let crossfire dry. It'll be safe for pets. Do not spray in places not labeled. I agree with that. That's right. Label is the law. Crystal says, is there something we can take so that we don't taste good to bed bugs? I don't know. I don't know. But if you find out, let me know. You'll be rich if you can figure it out. Alex Camp says, just found out the previous renters in our home had bed bugs. That sucks. Just bought 13-ounce crossfire. Any tips when spraying? Just go. Okay, here. Let me get you a video. How bed bugs. Let's see. There it is. Man, that's weird. All right, let's see here. Share. Copy. This is what I recommend right here. There you go. That's a video on bed bugs. How to kill bed bugs. For you, Ice. Ice? Is it Ice? No, not Ice. Who was it? Alex. That's for Alex. So. Trust me, I know the same feeling. Just relax and don't spray places because you could get sick or worse. Alex says, figured I'd vacuum. Use my Bissell with a heater function and OxyClean shampoo and then spray crossfire. Yeah, I always recommend if you're going to use a heater or a steamer, do that before you apply the pesticide. John says, Jason, ever bring home unwanted guests after? Oh, I've always brought home, I've got my bed bugs. I got them around here somewhere. Ooh, I haven't lost them, have I? Oh, there they are. Yeah, let's see. They're underneath my monitor. I always put them right back underneath my monitor so I don't actually drop it. I don't trust these bottles. Oh, the baggie's open. Oh, well. I won't let my wife know. Don't tell her. I mean, I wanted them. They're not unwanted. Is it working? It's not working. My autofocus is messing me up. Anyway, there's bed bugs in there. I think they're dead now, though. I'm pretty sure they're dead now. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're dead. Oh, well. I think they're dead. Let's see. Let dry, lay down some D. Oh, don't use diatomaceous earth. Oh, that's not the worst I've seen, Tina. That video, I've seen way worse than that. Yeah, I've seen way worse. Oh, Tina, just follow me on TikTok. So, let's see. Yeah, my Kia is a 2018, and it's on my Google page. Let me see, Green Acres. Yeah, this is mine. I'll show you mine. That's my Kia. And that was me, right there. That's my wrap. I think it's really cool. But that's what my car looks like. So, I advertise everywhere I go. But anyway, in case you were wondering what I look like on my car. But a lot of people are using the Toyota Tacomas. I'm getting I'm gonna get one of those Tesla trucks. That's what I'm gonna wrap next. Cause it's ugly. It's a really ugly truck. Do you recommend vacuuming all the furniture before spraying? I'm afraid. Yeah, well, I mean, you can, but I don't vacuum. Some people do use mothballs inside their vacuum. Some people do. I don't really recommend it because the vacuum will spread the odor of the mothballs throughout the air, and bedbugs actually do produce. I mean, not bedbugs. Mothballs do produce a toxic vapor. So I don't recommend it. Did you accept that bedbug house? Yeah. I love the bad ones. The bad ones are my favorite. I love to go into a really heavily infested bedbug house. They are my absolute favorite. And all I wear is my uniform shirt, gloves, and what you see is what you get. And my pants and my shoes. I don't wear Tyvek. I don't bag my feet. I mean, sometimes I do wear booties if I've been like out in the mud. I'm not going to track mud on somebody's house. But I've been in some pretty extreme cases. That's not the worst case even on my TikTok. There are worse bedbug cases on my TikTok page. But that's a pretty bad one. It was bad, but it wasn't as bad. But yeah, I'm not. So I charge. If you want to know how much I charge for a bedbug job, people always ask, how much do you charge for a bedbug job? It's different based on where you live. So I treat the entire state of Virginia for bedbugs. If someone earlier said they were from Alexandria, I think it was Crystal. If someone called me out of Alexandria, Virginia, I would drive 3.5 hours one way to treat their bedbugs just because they're in Virginia. I am only licensed to practice pest control in Virginia. It's the only state I can do it. I don't have any reciprocal licensing in like North Carolina, Tennessee, Maryland, no other state. But I go all over the state. So I have my base rate, plus I charge mileage based on how far I have to go. If I do a Northern Virginia area, it's like $1,800 to do a one-time trip. And that sounds cheap because when you really think about it, driving one way 3.5 hours, dealing with DC traffic, you're in the car for about 8 hours. Plus you have to do the bedbug job, might take you an hour or two. And so it's a full day of work. So it's not a lot. You really don't make that much driving up to Northern Virginia, but that's what I charge to go up there. And I charge a lot less than that to do local stuff. But I really like bedbug work. I don't mind it. I enjoy it because, I mean, I've had people call me after treating their house for bedbugs, houses like that you just saw, where they're crying on the phone. And they're like, I cannot believe it's been the first, 2 or 3 nights I've been able to sleep without waking up in the middle of the night itching myself because the bedbugs are biting me, and they actually get a good night's sleep for the first time in months. Some people, years. There's a TikTok video on there. That I did, and the guy had the bed bugs. He approximated for 5 years. 5 years. That's a long time to have bed bugs. With no pest control. Nothing was done. He just lived with them for 5 years. And it was really bad. That one, actually, I can show it to you. The problem is that YouTube likes to hate me if I play TikTok music. I like to use copyrighted music. But it makes the videos cool. And that's what TikTok lets you do, that stuff. It's cool. I can't do that on YouTube because YouTube won't let you do that. YouTube used to be better back, 10 years ago. It was a way cooler platform. You had like the Maya He guy and he's like, doing this, and it was funny. and it was a cool place to go. Now they won't let you do that. But let me show you. So if you go right to this video right here, so if you scroll down a little ways, if you go to my TikTok page and you scroll down, so you got, it's quite a little ways down there. It's this one right here. Man, it's loud. I turned the volume off. So this is, and it's quick because I'm like, this is bed bugs. These are all bed bugs. This is a box spring. So bed bugs all over it. See that? Look at that. Look at that. Now that's impressive. See? That's way worse than that one I just showed you. That's way, way worse. That's way worse. Crazy. And then there's more. But anyway. Crazy stuff. Yeah. Yeah, you can. That one I did. I did that one. That one I just showed you. I got them under control with one treatment. But that was Crossfire. I used Crossfire. See, look at them all. Like all these little black spots. All these are bed bugs. Like all this stuff. All this stuff is bed bugs. All that. And of course, every single black spot you see there is a bed bug. They're real bad. But I did this one and got rid of them with one treatment. So this one, I went in and they had a love seat in the living room. And I checked the love seat and it was covered in bed bugs. I was like, oh no, what is the bedroom going to look like? If they're in a love seat that people don't really even sit on that much, they are going to be really bad in the bed where people are actually sleeping. And that's what I found when I went in the bedroom. It was so bad. I didn't realize they were that bad because the lighting was really poor in the room. And I had already walked all in them and they were already on my boots, crawling up my pant legs. They were on my gloves. We're turning over the stuff. They were all crawling up. My son had them on his sleeve. We have the long sleeves, and they were crawling up the sleeves to his shirt. They were everywhere, and we were picking them off of us in the yard. And then we left the house, and I went straight home. My wife, so behind me, right, that what is it, right? That door? That door. That's my laundry room. So I'm in the basement. So on the other side of that door, there's a door out in the backyard. And so I go to that door in the backyard, and that's where I have to strip down and come right into the laundry room, put all my clothes directly in the hot water. So, yeah. What kind of guarantee do you give a customer with a house like that, and how long? I don't give bed bug guarantees. I refuse to give a bed bug guarantee. I explain to people that bed bugs come from other people. I cannot guarantee something that someone is going to bring back into your home. The reason the bed bugs are this bad is because someone brought them in this house, whether it was a family member or a friend. I cannot guarantee bed bug work. I don't, for the same reason I don't guarantee fleas. If people don't bathe their pets or properly treat their pets, I would be doing free flea work forever. So I don't guarantee bed bug work. I just do a really good job and I kill them. And they don't have them anymore. Walter White says, so I have a bad problem with fleas in my garage because of a hole. Cats and possums would go and hide in there on rainy days. And I fixed the hole and got rid of the animals, but I can't get rid of the fleas. So you need to go and watch my flea video. Use Alpine WSG. That's what I recommend for fleas. It works really, really, really good. In fact, since I switched to Alpine, I haven't even needed an IGR in my tank. I used to use IGRs all the time with everything. But with Alpine, you don't even need an IGR. It just works. It works really good on fleas. Never had a flea job that I couldn't get rid of using Alpine. Stealth Woman says, what color are bed bugs? What color are ticks? Well, there's bed bug. There's one right there. There's one right there. There depends on if they fed. They get redder the more they eat. Jason, show the star cycle of bed bugs. I'm not sure what a star. I don't know what that is. Wow, that is cheap. Wow, and we charge that much just for a bed bug service itself. A lot of people charge a lot for bed bug work, but I just really enjoy it, and I can do. I mean, honestly, locally in Lynchburg, I charge $6.50 for a one-time bed bug treatment, half price if they need a follow-up. I charge $750 for anything outside around an hour drive, and then it's $1,800 to go up to Northern Virginia, which is where I get most of my calls for long distance. And Richmond is like $1,300. So $1,300. Richmond's like 2 hours away, depending on what side of Richmond I go to. So there's my pricing. Now you know what I charge. So I don't care if people know what I charge. People know what I charge anyway. Locally, I plan to pre-treat the next home I move into. Good job. John Torres says, I don't think you could get it under control with one treatment. Tina Price says, I work for a company out of Georgia, and we don't even do all of Georgia, and we charge $1,800 at least for a treatment alone. John Torres, well, this is a bedbug show. One treatment. Did you spray every single item in there? No, I didn't spray every item. The thing is, the guy's sleeping in there. So here's the thing. Let's open some paint. Let's open paint. I'm gonna try to do this with my mouse. I'm an artiste. Let's see here. All right. So this is painting with. Let's do we'll even put a nice little tree in there. All right. So we got a room. All right. This is the room. Let's do it. Let's make it fit in the window here. All right. So there's your room. And then you've got your bed, right? Oops. Why is that moving around? Let's see here. All right, so you got your bed right here, okay? And then let's say you got a nightstand, and I don't know, maybe you got a square one over here because you decorate like me, like a man, all right? And then we got a pillow, and another pillow. Isn't that pretty? Look at that, so pretty. All right. So there's the room. All right, let's say your bed bugs are here. You got some here, got some here. You got some all along the bed frame here, all like there, and maybe some on this nightstand. All right, so if you treat this bed with Crossfire, the mattress, you take all the sheets and everything off, and you treat just this mattress with Crossfire, these bed bugs over here and these bed bugs over here, well, they still have to go down this table and up the leg of this bed and get in this bed to bite you because you are sleeping here. So if you've got a closet over here and you've got a closet, maybe you've got, I don't know, a chest right here or a chest of drawers, okay? If these have bed bugs in them, they still have to come to the bed. So if you treat the bed and you treat the box, the baseboards around the room, the places that if they're in the wall, let's say you've got bed bugs in the wall. All right, now there's bed bugs in the wall. Look at that. Look at all them bed bugs. Oh, there's so many bed bugs. There's squiggly lines. Squiggly lines equal bed bugs. All right, the bed bugs are in the wall. They still have to come here to bite you. So that's the thing. That's what you got to realize is that the bed bugs have to come from here to here. And if you treat here and then you sleep here, they have to come here. They will go to this bed and they will come out of all this stuff and bite you in the bed. They will crawl over this treated bed and they will die. Usually within 2 to 3 weeks, they're out and they're on the bed. You don't have to treat every single thing in your room to kill bed bugs. You don't. You just have to treat. It's very minimal. Crossfire, Apprehend is also extremely minimal treatment. You don't have, minimal movage of things. You know, you can treat with Apprehend or Crossfire, and it's going to get rid of your bed bugs. Now, you guys, unless you're licensed, can't get Apprehend. But that's why I don't talk about it on the channel. But Apprehend actually will kill bed bugs pretty well. Now, I don't use Apprehend, but I've had lots of other technicians tell me it's a really good chemical. But let's say you live in a hoarder room. Let's say it's a hoarder. All right. Now you've got, let's do blue. All right. Blue is hoarder crap. All right. Let's imagine this entire room. This will be easier this way. This whole room, there's a door. Well, that's not it. That's not a very good door, is it? Let's do this. Let's do a line. All right. Your door is there. Okay? There's the door into the room. But it's a hoarder room. So now we're in a house that you can't hardly even get to the bed. In fact, the only way to get to the bed is this way. This is the only path to the bed. All this other stuff, everything else in this room is all just junk. It's just piled up with junk. In fact, maybe some of the junk is even spilling onto the bed because it's gross. And you can tell this guy only sleeps right here. There's the only spot right there. Now, this is the problem with this type of room, is that the owner, the homeowner, I will usually make clean off the bed. I'll say, look, I'm not a home decorator. You need to take this bed and you need to clean everything off of this bed so that I can take this mattress out of this room. And I will. I'll actually take the mattress off and I'll take it out of the room. And I will treat it and I'll put it all back. And I have been able to get rid of bed bugs using Crossfire in this type of living condition. And you know without a doubt, there are bed bugs here, there are bed bugs here, there are bed bugs all over this room. Because there are so many places. There are bed bugs under the bed, in the junk that's stuffed under the bed. And you can't spray people's stuff. You can't. There is a limitation to what you can treat of someone's belongings. You can't just come in and spray pesticides on people's belongings. You can't. But because it's a non-repellent, because the bed bugs do not see the chemical as a chemical, they don't know it's there. They don't know it's there. So they're going to come to the bed. The bed's treated. The bed bugs are good. Bed bugs are active primarily between 2 and 4 o'clock in the morning when you're asleep. And you see the spot they sleep is right here. So the bed bugs have to come right here. And they're going to come from all these other places and go right here. Because they don't know Crossfire's ever been applied. They don't know anything's ever been done. So as long as you're able to treat the place the bedbug is going to naturally want to be drawn to, which is you, the person, treat the area around where the person's going to be, the couch, the love seat, the sofa bed, maybe they're not sleeping on the bed anymore. Maybe because of all of this, they've decided to move into the living room and now they're sleeping on a lawn chair in the living room. You still have to treat this. But you have to go and treat the lawn chair in the living room too, because now the bed bugs have moved into the living room and they're living on a lawn chair. Well, foggers don't work. Nope, they don't. Were you able to save his love seat and bed? Yes. They must not have reacted to the bites. Thank you, because the foggers did not. Oh no, he had bites. He had bites. Very nice artwork. You said in a previous video that bed bugs would avoid crawling over certain pesticides. That's true. So what's with Crossfire? They don't detect it. Right, they don't detect it. But most pesticides they do. Let's see. Crossfire is non-repellent. Ice Mask said, was going to ask as well, how long does the residual take to kill bedbugs? 30 days. Oh, the residual, it depends. So let's do another picture. That was fun. How do I do new? New. What? No. Don't save. That's not pretty enough. All right. So you've got a timeline there. And it starts here is the application day. And here is the day that it's no longer effective. All right. This is 30. Okay. So Crossfire lasts for 30 days. So, let's do this. So it has been a week. 1 week. Let's see, 1 week. And then 2 weeks. And then 3 weeks. And then 4 weeks. All right. So on the very first day, it's still wet. 5 minutes. That's how long it takes for a pesticide, for Crossfire to kill bed bugs when it's wet. Okay? So that's on contact. All right, and when it's still wet. After it's dried in about a week, it takes 2 to 4 hours for bed bugs to die. 2 to 4 hours. All right. And then after that, let's say it's a 2-week period, it takes about 4 to 8 hours. And this is just given, And then at 3 weeks, it might take them a day. All right. And then by the time it's getting close to 30 days, it might take 2 days. So there you go. And that's just a guesstimate from what I've seen in the field, from what people have told me. And this is about the same for pretty much any pesticide residual. So if you're going to kill ants, that's about how it works. That's about, because pesticides are designed to lose their effectiveness over a period of so many days. Now, this is a 30-day chart. So, you can see that when it's first applied and it's still wet, well, they die really fast. After it's dry, it takes 2 to 4 hours. Even further along after it's been allowed to dry, 4 to 8 hours. Even further along, a day or 2 days. And so at the end of the 30-day mark, it just stops killing the bed bugs because it's just not strong enough. And you may still be killing bed bugs at 30 days, but it may take a week for the bugs to die. And the point is that even if the crossfire is still killing the bed bugs, the problem is you don't want the bed bugs to be able to lay more eggs. And if the bed bugs can come out and bite you and not die and go back and lay eggs and still not die, and then finally after the eggs are laid, then they die, well, then you haven't broke the life cycle. So in the pest control industry, we have this term breaking the life cycle. You need to break the life cycle. If it's a flea, you need to break the life cycle because the flea is going to hatch. It's going to come out of its egg. It's going to make its cocoon. At any point in that cycle, so there is a cycle for, I've got a picture somewhere. Let me see if I can find it. I think it's in my Adobe stock. Well, let's not worry about that anyway. But anyway, there's a life cycle for bed bugs. So you've got the egg hatches. In a week to 10 days, it bites you, it sheds its skin. In a week to 10 days, it bites you, it sheds its skin. In a week to 10 days, it bites you, it sheds its skin. It goes through 5 instars. Every time it sheds its skin, that's called an instar phase. And so you need to be able to kill any one of those stages of bed bugs in order to break that cycle. The circle that comes all the way back around to when it comes back and becomes an adult, it lays more eggs again. So at any time that you break that cycle, you eliminate the problem. So with bed bugs, fleas, any kind of bug that lays eggs, you want to be able to break that egg cycle so that you stop having problems with whatever bug you're trying to get rid of. And so when you get to the end of this 30-day mark, when the pesticide is just no longer effective at killing the bug fast enough, at breaking that cycle, the cycle is going to start over from the very beginning again. And then you really aren't doing anything. That's when you need to reapply, is at the end of that month. And that's going to give you another fresh residue that'll last 5 minutes, 2 to 4 hours. You're going to start over again. And you're going to kill those bed bugs just in case you haven't eliminated all of the bed bugs yet. So I always treat with Crossfire, John. I've treated with Crossfire for 4 years. That's the only thing I use right now. Do you have to treat the whole house at the same time, or just where you see the bugs? I do the whole house. How would you approach if your boss asked you why you were leaving? Would you tell him the truth and give a respectful vanilla answer? I'm not exactly sure what you're asking. Stealth Woman says, how long do you have to wait to sleep in the bed after spraying? Until it's dry. Wait till it's dry and then make your bed, sleep in it that night. John Torres says, does Crossfire work on German roaches? Now I'll tell you a story, John. Crossfire is not labeled for the elimination of cockroaches. But I did a house in Falls Church, and it was pretty heavily infested with bed bugs. It was pretty heavily infested with cockroaches. I treated the house 3 times, and the house didn't have any bugs when I left. Didn't have any cockroaches, didn't have any bed bugs. But I treated the house for bed bugs. Every bug in the house died. So, if that doesn't answer your question, and I wasn't spraying for roaches. I was just treating for bed bugs. So, Cameron says, how do you approach the issue of bed bugs going into an adjoining unit? A budding unit, okay. You treat all the units that are touching the unit with bad bed bugs. So, the way I have done bed bugs before. So in the heavily infested room, I use Crossfire. And typically I do that in all the outside rooms too, but I have used repellents on the outside rooms. So like up, down, left, right, all those different rooms. I've actually treated with a repellent in those rooms that I knew the bed bugs would see as a pesticide. So they didn't desire to like spread out and go into other rooms. And that worked really, really well. I actually did that in a hotel one time where I treated the hotel room with Crossfire and I treated the adjoining rooms with something repellent to try to allow for the hotel to still be able to rent those rooms around the edges so that the bed bugs wouldn't actually try to spread out. And I think they ended up having one of the maids or something stay over and sleep in the bed bug infested room so that they would come out. But yeah, I did do that once and that worked. Jennifer says, can I spray any bed bug that emerge? So tempted. Yeah, you could spray them. You can spray them with Crossfire. It does kill on contact, but takes 5 minutes. I mean, it kills on contact within 5 minutes. When someone has a German roach treatment done, do you recommend that person be out of the home after treatment for a certain amount of time? Sometimes. It depends on what you use. But I usually advise them to be out while I'm treating because they're being away. The problem with a German cockroach infestation is having to pull out the fridge and the stove and all of the basically rearranging of the kitchen and getting underneath all the cabinets. And a lot of times people are just in the way. And so, yeah, it's common to just tell people, hey, you need to just leave so I can do my job. And I have done that before. And then I'll tell them just come in when it's dry, which is what you're supposed to do. It's what the label says. People, Instar stages is what I was asking a picture of. Oh. I see what you're asking for. I don't know if I have a picture of Instar stages. I have. There's my son again. He's still up. 12:30. How do you treat if bed bugs are in the walls? I treat everything with Crossfire. When they crawl out, they die. John Torres says, good job, station. Thanks and good night. Good night, David. Jennifer Lego says, what repellent do you recommend? Bifenthrin works. Talstar, Demon. Basically anything other than Crossfire is going to be a repellent. Most everything. With Crossfire residual left in my B&G mixed with a gallon of water, I sprayed it on a spider directly and killed it. All right. Well, I am going to have to go. It's been an hour and a half. I swore I would not be on this late because I started at like 10:30. Or 11? Must have been 11 because it's 12:30 now. You guys have a really great night. I appreciate it. And I will... Oh, wait a minute. What is this? Oh, I see. That was one of the super chats that came in. Y'all have a really great night. I really appreciate it. And yes, I do. Ramar, I do. Y'all have a great night. See you later. Bye.